Hello, doctors. Today we're going to learn how you can become legendary. Welcome back here to Pod 4, and today you're going to learn how you can become legendary, and it's actually quite a simple way to go about it. And if you stick with it, though, you'll be amazed at what happens in a short amount of time. You become known in your area as the doctor that specializes in this thing, and anytime something comes up about this, whatever the subject is we're going to talk about, that your name pops up, and you truly become legendary. Not just then in your own little area, but then in your state and even nationally if you choose. It's an amazing thing that happens, and you only have to do one principle, and it's an amazing thing, and it's great for your patients, your clinic, and for your brand. So let's get into it and talk about it today. What it is that we're talking about in Pod 4 is your every patient, everyday protocol. Every patient, every day. If you follow the principles that we teach today in this Pod 4, you'll be amazed at the legendary status that you get and the branding that happens to you in a short amount of time. And here's what I mean by every patient, every day. That you decide what it is that you recommend for every single patient, no matter what, and that's the key, no matter what that comes in your clinic when it comes to nutrition and supplementation. If you make that decision and you don't vary from it, it becomes your passion. It becomes who you are. That it's every patient, every day. This is what you believe in your heart and your soul. And you teach it. Everyone you talk to, you mention it. You have little ways to show this principle as far as different things that you lay out. And I'll give you an example of demonstrations and stuff that I've done. If you do that, then you'll be a legend, and it'll happen quickly. So let me give you an example. We know that nutrition is critical for every patient. Why do we know that? The latest research is overwhelming, even passing smoking, that the number one cause of disease and early death, even though it used to be smoking, is no longer, it's nutrition. Your food choices. So doctors, with your patients, think about it. Patient, appreciate you coming in. My specialty is XYZ, da-da-da-da. But one thing you need to understand is that the number one cause of low quality of life, of dying early, based on the research, is the foods you put into your body. And that research is overwhelming. And again, it surpassed smoking. So in my clinic, we're going to do X. And we're going to talk about what X is. Every patient, every day. And it does involve nutrition and nutritional supplementation because it's the number one factor that causes death and disease. Okay? So if you don't have every patient every day and commit full out to do it, you'll not be remembered. And the best way I can explain this is one of my favorite movies. Some of you have seen Troy. I know it's a little bit old. I think it was like 2004 that it came out. I just mentioned it to our staff today, and one of the people said, "What? I never even heard of that." And they didn't realize, I didn't realize how old it was, but as back as Brad Pitt, if you remember the movie. If you haven't seen it, got to go see, watch Troy. Some of you have a little bit more time right now, so you can do that. But in Troy, there's this little boy that went up, and he went up and was talking to Achilles, and Achilles is on his horse, and the boy looks up, and he says, "You're going to go fight that guy?" He's a big 7-8 foot guy, and he said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, the Thessalonian you're fighting, he's the biggest man I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him." And Achilles said, "This is why no one will ever remember your name." And I was like, it was so amazing when I saw that. It was like, oh, wow, how powerful is that? In other words, he was willing to do what others weren't willing to do. Now, you don't have to go out and sacrifice possibly losing your life like Achilles did to fight this, but the principle is the same, is you've got to be willing to, like, I'm going to have an every patient, every day protocol. And I don't care what people say. I don't care, the stones they throw at me, their spears they throw at me. This is what I believe in my heart and every passion or tissue of my body with full passion that I believe in that. And if you do that, if you find that thing that you're passionate about when it comes to nutrition and supplementation and teach it to every patient, you'll become legendary. You'll truly become legendary. You will do what others don't, and they'll remember your name. And I know that sounds corny, but I promise you, and I'm going to give you an example of that. And I'm going to do it by helping you to determine right now, by the time this podcast is over, you have a plan. Either you've picked your every patient every day, or you have a plan to find out what that is, because it is critical that it is deep inside you, passionate, and it moves you when you decide what that is, because your patients will feel that energy, they'll feel that vibration, and they'll know if it's truth or not. And so let me give you an example of mine. My every patient every day, every person every day. And you can ask anyone that has been around me in 30 years, and they're going to tell you that, oh yeah, he really teaches the importance of digestion and enzymes. It's because that was my every patient every day. I don't care if they were a professional athlete. I'd go in and make them take enzymes before they ate. If it was family, was anyone, I have my little pack of enzymes, and when we go somewhere, I take it and pass it around to people. And a lot of people will be, when they go out to eat with us, like, what is this? And they're like, you just handed me this as if I was supposed to know what to do. And I'm like, you're supposed to know what to do. You know me. It's about digesting your food. You're eating cooked and processed food. You got to add back the enzymes. You chose to take the enzymes out when you had the food cooked. Here, you're just adding it back. Take an enzyme when you eat that food. It's just what it is. And that's what I'm known for. And so with that, over the years, it's developed into when there's anything going on with digestion issues or with food processing and that, guess who the news channels call to do a story on it? They call me, because I've become known for that. And so also known as interesting for a little demonstration we use where you get snack pack pudding. Go buy the little snack pack puddings. And it represents cooked and processed food. Anything cooked over 118 degrees, the enzymes are destroyed. Your body has to do all the work to digest it, causes disease, and so on. You all know the story probably. But I get the snack pack pudding, I put some enzymes in it, stir it up, and the other end I don't. And you turn it over, and the part with the enzymes in it rolls out like water, and it shows that enzymes digest food, and you need to add back enzymes when you eat cooked and processed food. So I have all these little demonstrations and things that I use and I speak about, and I've been known for that. And to this day, it is our number one seller because people know I'm most passionate about it, that I believe it's every patient every day. And it is. I truly believe that. Unless you eat raw food only, you need to be taking optimal digestion. And how much do you take? It all depends on how much cooked and processed food you eat. I had an athlete not too long ago, a professional NBA athlete, that called and said, Doug, you're making me take too many of these enzymes. And I'm like, oh, really? And he's, yeah, I take them all the time, every meal and all that. I'm like, well, I'm not telling you to take any. He says, yes, you are. I'm like, no, I'm not. In fact, I don't want you to take any enzymes. I want you to eat only raw food. You're choosing to cook the food. You choose to take the enzymes to add it back. If you want to take less enzymes, eat more raw food. So, oh, I knew you were going to say that. And it went on. And that's the point, is that's my every patient every day. That's what I'm known for. And then I can go from there and teach the other principles to be holistic. So that's it. Now, the other thing that's interesting is now, within the last year and a half, I've really started pushing every patient every day, being what's called the 21-day Blitz Challenge. And up till the last few years, I haven't pushed that with every patient every day because it was my secret weapon. The reason I was the first nutritionist and the only nutritionist in the NBA for many years was because there was things I did that I didn't tell other people, other nutritionists and other people about, because I wanted to have that job. I wanted to be the only one at the time, and I wanted to be the best. And so I just kept those secrets to myself. And now, though, my main mission in life is just to teach and share with others, and they can go out and be the experts and have that niche. And what it was I would do the 21-day Blitz Challenge with everyone. And the 21-day Blitz Challenge is a specific set of guidelines that you only eat 50 grams of sugar a day, you get off white flour, carbonation, fried foods, and they have this checklist for 21 days that they cut out certain foods, add in more vegetables, those types of things. And at the same time, they go on high doses of a stabilized, patented probiotic to reprogram the gut and the cravings. So now their cravings, your probiotics determine what you crave. And so if you get new probiotics in there and you're eating healthy, you crave healthier foods. So now you're able to get over that hump and be able to stick with your goals. And that's how come people were having success in my programs, whether it was a patient or an athlete, when they weren't having as much success with other people, because I'd put them on this 21-day challenge with the Floor Blitz. And but not everyone knew about it because that's just what I would do. Now we teach that. It's available. Doctors, a lot of doctors are using the 21-day Blitz Challenge as their every patient every day, and then following up with the digestion. But let's say that that's not your passion, that doesn't resonate in you. Then what are some other choices? Because you need to pick your every patient every day and get with it and learn a little bit more about it. Become an expert. Even if it takes a few hours, it doesn't take long because we'll supply you with all the information. But you really get passionate about it. You probably already are. It just you haven't thought about it enough. So if one of these things as I go through in this pod today touches you, let that be your every patient every day and get behind it. Ask us for literature and information and help you so that when people walk into your clinic, they're, oh my gosh, this guy really likes, enzymes or cares about digestion or whatever it is. And they'll see that and feel that from you. So here's some other options. Dr. John Brimhall, his every patient every day is opti-adrenal because he feels, and I agree, but he feels strongly that everything comes back to adrenal fatigue. And if you go through the 6 steps to wellness with Dr. John, you know it starts with the adrenals and that focus and being able to help it. So every patient, every day, and he's known for that. We all know, if you know Dr. John, you know you're going to get an opti-adrenal. He's going to talk about your adrenals. He's going to talk about cortisol and all those things no matter what, because nothing else in the world matters unless the adrenals are functioning properly. So every patient, every day. Does that mean the other stuff isn't important, the brain and liver and kidney, all that? No. He just has chosen that to be the one thing that, even though he's known legendary for many things, that's the one thing that specifically he has is that every patient, every day, and he really is known for that. And so his opti-adrenal, maybe that's something you want to be in your clinic. Another one, Dr. Harris, a great PhD 3 times over, phenomenal. If you haven't been to methylation seminars, you got to go to methylation seminar. But he recommends something called DAC, which is vitamin D, vitamin A, K1, and K2. And he believes every patient every day should be on it because most people are taught improperly about the research of vitamin A and that. And so he's really big on that. And once you hear him speak, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to take this forever. And that's one that is also, and he has a little slideshow, and you can get that slideshow or the adrenals or our 21-day and be able to become that expert. I used to teach seminars every month on digestion and the importance of it, and it became where I was known for it. Another option for your every patient every day, a lot of you love cleanses and believe everyone needs to be cleansed and it's toxic somehow because of environment or whatever it might be. And I agree, but some of you want to be every patient every day on that. So we have something called a soft cleanse. It's a box, and you see the custom box there that the patients take. And a lot of doctors start their patients off no matter what with the soft cleanse. So that can be your every patient every day. Patients, we know the need to cleanse, and then you put a little literature together, get it from us, and customize it to yourself. And that's what you're known as, is that when you go see Dr. Smith, whatever your name is, then we're going to go on a little cleanse to begin with. That's just what happens. So when people refer people to you, they're like, hey, just know he's going to put you on this little cleanse no matter what, because you need to get things cleared out. So everything else he or she does will work great and will hold. So that's one option. Another option is BFF and OptiNitric. If you want every patient to have better circulation, then you work with nitric oxide. So our nitric oxide products with the creatine nitrate and the arginine and that, the OptiBFF and OptiNitric. A lot of doctors are switching over to that to be their every patient every day because circulation is critical no matter what you do when it comes to your adjustments, manipulations, massage, anything else you do. If circulation isn't happening, you're not going to get the results that you're wanting. So a lot of doctors are saying my every patient every day is circulation, nitric oxide, circulatory nutrients, and they teach that to the patient. You need the blood flow. You don't want to be stagnant like a pond. You need that river running through you. And we're going to give you the nutrients to help that river flow, that blood flow. And we do it with the creatine nitrate, the nitrates for nitric oxide, and the arginine for nitric oxide and blood flow and for growth hormone. And so that's a great one too that you can run with. And we can give you a slideshow on that so that you're able to create a little brochure and have the slides and do seminars on it. And the new one that's coming up, I had a doctor the other day say, well, Doug, my every patient every day is parasites. And I believe that everyone has parasites. And if some of you have been to the big Brimhall homecoming that we do, I did a big talk to about 300 doctors on that subject. And we went through the research, and even according to the CDC, World Health Organization, and a lot of other groups, and just at the research, it showed that at least 1 out of every 2 people have parasites. And that's not us saying that, it's what the statistics show. And so this doctor is saying, well, I'm going to do every patient every day is going to be parasite cleanse. They're going to be taking the nutrients to help with that. So that's a great way to go too. My point is, I spent a lot of time on this, is I'm really wanting from this podcast that you decide, okay, I need to have my every patient every day. So what nutrition do you recommend? Do you believe in plant-based? What do you believe in? And say, okay, patient, here's the recommendations. That's why I like the 21-day Blitz challenge. Here's an eating plan. Get off the carbonation and the fried foods and that. This is what I believe is what will help you the most. And then pick your product that you get behind. And the key, doctors, is truly, truly, truly every patient, every day. You do not get away from this. You stick with it. And I promise you, within 6 months, that you'll already become legendary in your area for that subject, for whatever it is your every patient every day. I commit to you, I've seen it over and over and over again, where doctors say, oh my gosh, I've been practicing forever, and people didn't even know what it was, and now I'm known. I go places and say, oh, you're the doctor that is about digestion, and I have bloating and gas and stuff like that. What do I do? Or I'm the doctor of your adrenals. Man, I am fatigued all the time. I was told to talk to you because you're the doctor that is an expert in adrenals and energy, whatever it might be, or circulation and that. I've had a doctor say a trucker stopped by one time, didn't even know him. The trucker was going through town and talking about he has circulation issues. And so you got to go see Dr. So-and-so. They're experts in circulation. And it's just because the doctor was recommending is every patient every day, Opti-BFF and the Opti-Nitrate, the arginine and the creatine nitrate. And because he was doing that, a trucker is coming through town, stops there to get food, and is talking to someone there, and they referred that trucker to the doctor, this chiropractor, because that chiropractor had made his every patient every day about circulation. And so that's where they sent him. Do you see the magic of that? It is so awesome. So, what's funny is that because what I focused on for a long time, working with athletes, their ability to become great, and if they're already great, to become legendary naturally, as I became known as the guy that helped people do it naturally for quite a few years. And so because of that, all of a sudden, anytime there's a steroid scandal or something like that going on in the world, with the Olympics, with the Russians, with different people and that, guess what? The news stations would call me, Channel 3 News, Channel 12 News, NBC, ABC, and they'd say, hey, can we do a quick interview with you because of the steroid thing that went down? And so I would talk about it and the importance of being natural and that what the WADA, International Olympic Committee using WADA to test and what they did to find out if people are taking steroids and what a steroid was, and that, creatine and those things aren't. A lot of people think it is. And anyways, I get called on to do these news spots on the TV because I was known for helping people naturally reach ultimate performance without steroids. So I become supposed to be the steroid expert overnight. And so these things happen to you, and it's amazing what happens. So what you need to do, doctors, to become legendary, all right, is you have to do things others won't. Remember the little kid and Achilles down there? Because you're not willing to do that. No one will remember your name. Be willing to step out and stand for something. What's your nutrition? What's a supplement that every patient every day should be on? If you do that, your patients will heal faster, you'll build residual for your clinic, and you'll become legendary. Let us know what your every patient every day is and how it goes so that others can be inspired by your legendary status by following this protocol. Have a great day.